Hello, good morning again. We are on day 2 of our Fearless Challenge. I hope that you were able to download the calendar and take a look at it and see what you're going to be doing over the next month and kind of get familiar with it a little bit. Now, if you are a veteran and you're on ER and you've done all the things and you're using your oils every day, we're going to have some other challenging things for you. Like this month has been NICSA Challenge, which you should be on and should be in that particular challenge and working toward your goal with it. Whoever fills out the NICSA Red Challenge paper, the calendar for it, and sends it in, then you will get a prize as well. So that is something that is huge and wonderful. So you'll really enjoy your gift that you get for filling out that challenge and doing it for the month. But this is for people who are kind of new, maybe a little bit more nervous. They're not really sure what to do and really not sure how to swap things out. It gets overwhelming. You're not on ER. This is for you. This is for the people who really need to have a leg up a little bit and get some help and figure out, why am I doing this? How am I going to do it? And why does it feel overwhelming? And so we're going to break it down and get it into smaller pieces so that you are able to make a little bit more sense of it every day. So if you didn't get to watch yesterday's video, we kind of did a overall of why we oil in general and all the basics. So go watch that video before this one, and then we're going to go ahead and move forward. So I'm going to read a little bit out of the book simply because it really does give you a little perspective of, if you watch any of my videos ever, you know I tell my story a lot just because there's so many people new and changing all the time. So a lot of people haven't heard my story, so I tell it a lot. But sometimes it's good to hear other people's stories and to hear where other people are coming from. So that is one of the things that's in this little book is Sarah Harnish, who is a Crown Diamond with Young Living. She wrote this little book, Fearless. She also wrote Game Plan and Unstuck. She's very, very insightful, and she really, truly has a desire to help people, to see people's lives changed. And she really is the most amazing lady. We went to hear her speak one night, and she's like just handing us piles of books and tons of these books and tons of everything she had. She's just handing us stuff, didn't care that we weren't paying for it. She's like, oh my goodness, you need this, and she's just throwing stuff at us. So it was really cool. But she's got such a giving heart, and she's so sweet. But her story starts in a much different place. And she was in a place where she could not see how she was going to get out of where they were. They were living in the projects, and life was just really, really hard. And her and her husband both had kind of made a pact with one another that one day they would live off of 10% of what they make and give 90% away and do the reverse tithe. And that is what they're doing. She said that they were right at where they're able to start really living that out. And, they paid off all their debt, bought a house, and it is completely paid off. And now they're working in that direction to giving 90% of what they have away and keeping, just living on the 10%. And so to me, that is just the neatest story. And so this kind of tells a little bit of her story, and I would rather read it because it sounds better coming from her than me trying to explain it. But she's also going to talk about why we oil and just give some very basic stuff like that. So I'm going to go through and just read a little bit, and then we'll talk about some things. Hey, welcome to Essential Oils. If you just got your starter kit in the mail and it's a little intimidating, or you have had your kit for a while but it's just collecting dust because you don't know what to do with it, this book is for you. Maybe you're eyeing a kit but you're not sure you would use it. You love to smell the smell of peppermint but you have no idea how to incorporate it into your daily routine. This little book is for you too. You're probably thinking, as I did, there are so many books about essential oils. Where do I start? How do I get to know my oils, and how do I use them properly? If you're worried about wasting your investment or making a mistake, or if these little drops will stack up to what you've been using up to this point, if you love the idea of becoming an oiler but are overwhelmed, it's okay. You're in the right place. In the next 2 hours, which it takes about 2 hours to read this little book because it's very small, I will carry you far from these places. I was you. I walked this path. I came from the darkest past, filled with so many toxic chemicals that it caused monthly brain bleeds, and I learned slowly how to move from that place. Now my life is completely different. I have had all my questions and all of your thoughts and all of your doubts. Today is the day we eradicate fear together. Together we are going to cross the gap between not feeling confident about using essential oils to a life filled with sun up to sundown with essential oils. It's a toxic, chemical-free lifestyle. All it takes is a little training and encouragement, and that's why I'm here. My name is Sarah Harnish, and I am a Young Living Diamond and an essential oils addict, and I'm going to help you grow confident with oils and get the most out of your starter kit. I've been using and sharing oils for 3 years, and I have seen people fall in love and become die-hard oilers. But I've also seen starter kits resold online, still wrapped in plastic. It all boils down to one reason: they never knew the treasure inside the box. Why all of this excitement about 12 oils? Because it has the power to alter your life. It has a course correction. It is a complete perspective shift on how you can care for yourself and for your family. By taking tiny baby steps into a natural lifestyle, you can dramatically change your exposure to poisons and toxins and chemicals inside your home. Oils aren't just weird bottles that only certified aromatherapists know how to use. They've been around since the dawn of time, used by millions of people without certifications. If they are a fad, they are a fad with a track record that spans millennia. They are also your gateway to change how you care for your family. The reality is that most of us fall somewhere between the crunchy enthusiast that sleeps on bamboo sheets and eats leaves and nothing else, and the fast food dining connoisseur who lives in a chemical cesspool. Most of us want to do better for our families, but we aren't sure what that looks like, or if we actually have time to do it. And it seems like the information out there would take a lifetime to learn. When we get oils in our hand, we love the idea, but aren't sure what to do with them. I was in that category 3 years ago. I had zero exposure to essential oils. I got my kit and I began to experiment, playing with the oils. I built a massive team and a massive income with just one thing: passion. And now I've put together a guide to teach you how to play with your kit. It's called Fearless, because we're all about to alienate your fear of oils. I'm going to walk you through step by step how to get to know your oils until you can't imagine life without them. I'll train you on how to make oils your focal point, not your afterthought. If you accept my 10 challenges and truly walk through them over and over and over again until they become normal for you, be prepared to eliminate worry about how you care for your spouse and your kids. You will walk with confidence through your home, knowing you have made simple swaps of toxic chemicals at every turn that will impact your family in a positive way. This book isn't about pretty bottles that smell good. It's about changing the way you look at every product you buy. It's to train your eye to hunt for dangers in your home and teaching you how to read labels so you can spot poisons in your cabinets and start making the best choices for your family. Why start with oils? Because everything else has a larger learning curve. Oils are the bridge to natural health. Young Living oils come ready to go right out of the bottle. There's no science you need to master. There's no fancy techniques to learn. The work's been done for you by God, creating incredible plants. Every day, all over the world, the experts of Young Living Farms are capturing the power of the plant and putting them into a bottle with their amazing seed-to-seal guarantee. Distilling oils is not a skill you need to master. You just need to learn to play with the kit. Other natural living techniques take more time and effort. If you're learning fermenting, you must find cultures and be comfortable having weird things growing on your counter. If you're learning homeopath, you must learn to source, harvest, dry, boil, and bottle herbs and tinctures. If you're learning organic gardening, you must learn pH and soil and composting and where and how to plant. With oils, you open the bottle, run with it. It requires no degree. Oils are simple and they work. Perhaps up until this point, you haven't had a lot of interest in what's in your cabinet or in your diet. You figure if you're not eating fast food several times a week, you're not a soda or a junk food addict, you're in decent shape. In this little book, I challenge you and encourage you to kick it up a notch and make a shift in every single product you use, eat, or wear. You are a gatekeeper of your house. It's up to you to protect what's in the four walls. No one is looking out for your family but you. It's time to take this far beyond the starter kit and into every room of your home. Are you ready for a game changer? Are you ready to take the next step? Are you ready to take this seriously? You have already made the investment in a premium starter kit. Now it's time to show you where this goes. I promise you it's good. I will shoot straight with you. There is a learning curve to oiling, but it's not because it's hard. It's because you must untrain yourself for reaching for other options. You have to untrain your habits and untrain all your connections to old smells and things you've used for years. But it's not as hard as if you know why you're doing it. My why is that I am tired of what the industry tells me is safe. I'm tired of government approvals of products that should never ever be in anyone's home. I am tired of wiping my counters down with bottles that say they're poisonous and cannot be consumed. I'm weary of smelling like toxic chemicals when I wash my hair and eating foods that make me groggy because they are processed with synthetic vitamins and chemical processed fake ingredients that don't resemble anything my grandparents would have seen on their tables. I'm tired of walking through the grocery store and getting a headache when I pass through the cleaning aisle. I'm tired of a toxic lifestyle and I'm saying no to dangerous chemicals in my home. My family will no longer be exposed to anything I can't control. I am pretty sure you're on the same path with me because you wouldn't have invested in the starter kit sitting on your shelf. So let's learn together, step by step, piece by piece, at your pace. That's why this book is tiny and digestible. It's your getting started place. This little book is probably a bit different from what you've seen before because it's not an encyclopedia of plant names and origins and hundreds of pages of long explanations. Those are both good tools that I used in my home, but this book serves a different purpose. For the first time, I am explaining what it looks like to be someone who uses essential oils every day. In one sitting, you will go from a non-oiler or passive oiler to one that's passionate and trying new things each day with purpose. If you can get past the habits of reaching for the old familiar things that you've used for years, you're on the way to cleaning out the cabinets in your home. Every oil you use is a toxic chemical you're not using. Every oil you use is a toxic chemical you're not using. Whether you take this book and explode or detox your entire house, or whether you just apply a few principles, we have grown together, and you have done an excellent job. What makes me qualified to tell you how to use this kit? I've studied at multiple aromatherapy schools and hold 6 certifications in aromatherapy, from biblical aromatherapy to aroma chemistry. I have instructed thousands in mass classes across the country, but my best qualification is pain. It's my past. It's where I came from. It's the result of my poor decisions. If showing you my mistakes inspires you to make some changes, then this book is worth it for me. Walk with me a few minutes while I share the very beginning of the story of how I found essential oils. And we'll read that tomorrow. We'll talk about that tomorrow. So, our main purpose is not in totally like changing every single thing out in one sitting, but to think about what you're doing every single day. So, like when I first got my kit, I set my little box out on the kitchen counter. My box still sits on the kitchen counter. All of my oils are just, they're kind of everywhere, but now they're all over the house. But at the time, I knew that if I was going to make a difference and I was going to change, I needed it where I could see it. Setting it under a counter somewhere, putting it in a cabinet, putting it on a shelf is not going to do you any good whatsoever. I'm all about things being neat and clean and looking nice, but there comes a point when you're changing what you're doing that you've got to change what you're doing. So now, like, in the very beginning, I took everything out of my cabinet, out of my medicine cabinet. I took everything out that did not have to be there. And at the time, I went ahead and kind of, not knowing any better, I went ahead and used a lot of what we had. But as I began to learn, I didn't go back and buy any more. Like, I didn't buy more of certain things over the counter because I was going to use my oil. So instead of opening my medicine cabinet, I would see my oil sitting there and I'm like, oh, I wonder if there is something for, my foot hurts or whatever. So let's go see what I could use for my foot hurting. Or indigestion. I wonder if there's something that I could use for that to help support my digestive system. And, the kids would have a scratch or something. Oh, I wonder if there's something that I could use for that. So I kept my little pocket reference, which in your case you would either keep this or you can keep this. And I've got the other little pocket reference, which I don't know where it's at the moment. It must be in that bag. Sorry. But you keep your pocket reference right by your medicine cabinet. Keep all your oil sitting there. And when you go to your cabinet, you go, oh, I don't have to grab the Tylenol out of the cabinet. I could grab an oil, or I wonder if there's something that does help with a scratch, or they're not sleeping tonight. I'm not going to take the sleeping pill. I'm going to try lavender, or I'm going to try something else for sleep that maybe there's something else. And so I look in the pocket reference and I go, oh, there's tons of things for sleep. There's peace and calming, and there is tranquil, and Roman chamomile is good for sleeping. So you can go through and pick other things, but what's in the kit is lavender that's great for sleep. So you can start there and then move from there into other things. So that's just a simple little thing that I did from the very beginning. Is I set it on the shelf or on the counter, and I just started going to that. Now everybody goes to that. Like, if I say anything about taking a medicine of some sort, the kids are like, ew, why would I do that? And hand me the oil, hand me that, hand me this. Like even they know they're doing different because they know different. And they know that they feel better, because when you put Tylenol in them, they're going to be tired and they're going to feel like poo-poo even after they've had that in them for a little while. They're going to either fall asleep or they're going to feel gross. And, they can feel the difference. They can tell the difference. So they just don't do that anymore. So think about everything that you do every single day. As you're about to do it, as you're getting things out from under the counter, look at the back of the bottle. When you're going to wash your dishes or you're going to wash your clothes, look at the bottle and see how many ingredients is on there. You'll probably find a whole list of stuff, and even dyes. The dyes are horrible for us. We do not need those in our body. So you look at all of those things and you're just like, oh my word, I cannot believe all of the stuff that's in here that we do not need in our home. And you begin to make those awareness decisions because we become more aware of what we're using every single day and we think about it. So be thoughtful of those things. Be thoughtful of what you're using every single day. And let's begin to make these small changes. So today, my challenge for you just today is grab all your oils. If they're under your counter somewhere, if you haven't used them in a while, grab them up, put them by your kitchen counter, and have them where you can see them, and be consciously aware of what you're using every day. If your head starts hurting, go to your pocket reference and figure out what it is that would be great for your head hurting, or your neck is hurting, or whatever. Make those changes, because the more medicines we put into our bodies, that's causing more disease within our bodies as well. and it's not helping us at all. We need to make these changes every day and begin to see how we can do things differently. Ooh, sorry. My allergies have all of a sudden like gone crazy over the last few days. I don't know why. There is something, I guess, blooming or whatever. I don't know. But like my eyes keep itching and I keep sneezing. It's crazy. But I love y'all. And my challenge today, oils on the counter, in the kitchen, have them where you can see them. Use something today. If, I don't care what it is, just put something on your body. I don't care if anything hurts or not. Put something on your body. Put it on your wrist. Rub it on your wrist. Rub your wrist together. Inhale it. Smell it. Let it get into your system. You cannot mess this up. I promise you. You cannot mess it up. It is going to be the best thing that you've ever done. And you don't have to be afraid of it because it really is so very easy. It's wonderful. But it's harder to retrain your mind to do something different. That's the hard part. But I promise you, when you do, you're going to see a difference. You're going to feel a difference. And it's going to be great and amazing. So I love y'all. I hope y'all have an amazing day. And I will talk to you tomorrow.